It is that leads. Look at the speed now of Jorge Martin. Again having to try and dispose of his teammate Maverick Vinales. Hard to know where to look here. Who was that going wide?
Was in Nakagami to Marc Marquez as well. Rare mistake from the world champ.
He's coming straight back again though. Look at that contact! Oh wow! Into turn 6! You know,
MotoGP, stunning action here in Styria already.
It does show you though the ruthlessness of Joan Mir. It really does. He does not care one jot who it is. No. A great start to this Grand Prix already then. It's Bagnaia who leads from Martin, with Quartararo now up into 3rd again. Mir in 4th, then Vinales
down in 16th place.
Dani Pedrosa's made a good start. The number 26 is in 12th place at the moment. He is the leading KTM.
Who's gone down?
Dani Pedrosa, just as we said it, I think Dani Pedrosa's race has come to an end already. Something's happened to number 26 over at turn 3. Savadori as well. What's happened here?
This is a red flag.
This has got to be a red flag.
Red flag's coming.
Something has happened here over...
Yeah. Something's going on here between Aleix Spargaro
I think Aleix Spargaro is
well.
saying that the same thing has happened. I'm wondering if Savadori's crashed his bike or something. He's gone steaming up towards. I mean, let's wait and see what happens. But
two bikes on fire by the looks of it.
Riders turn to MotoGP on Lorenzo Savadori. We hope that Savadori's okay as well.
Turn 3 again. We had that horrendous here.
I mean, we saw...
Well, this is a humongous clean-up operation now.
It really is. We saw a
really lengthy clean-up operation here. And of course, this could also factor in some rain later on too.
How the clean-up operation begins.
Yeah, Loris Capirossi and Franco Uncini there, of course, vital parts of race direction. He's that gas on as hard as he could, but with the new rear tyre in these cool conditions, it definitely flipped him out of the saddle.
Great start for Mir. He'll want the same shortly.
Was a cracking start by Alex Rins, to be fair to him, with that new rear ride-height device. As Sahara-san said, he's
very best to help his good buddy Brad Jones in that, auctioning off his Moto2 suits, etc. So keep an eye on social media, and all the best to Brad, trying to raise a bit of money towards that cause as well.
Here, well, we just saw there Lorenzo Savadori, thankfully having gone to the medical centre.
If we do have a flag-to-flag race, Fabio Quartararo will hope that it will be 3rd time lucky. Some footage here of what's happened then. So there you see the crash. Oh my word!
Yeah,
how on earth Fabio Quartararo? There will be a gap on the 3rd row. Maverick Vinales then, having stalled by the looks of... Now they go. Good start again for the Ducati boys, and Miller this time really gets it hooked up, number 43, as they go in towards turn 1.
Nudge even bigger. Marquez into the side of Aleix Spargaro. He's out well wide, hung out to dry big time, the factory at Aprilia.
Contact from teammates there from KTM, the Red Bull KTMs, I think as well. Jack Miller, who fluffed it originally, is leading here.
Aleix Spargaro's Christmas card list. Aleix Spargaro dumped down to 16th place through the first sector. He started 7th. Another good then. Jack Miller capitalising on his second chance. He fluffed the first start here in Austria. A big moment. Pekka Bagnaia has also been a big loser on this first lap. He's just been nudged out of the top 6.
Yeah, Zarco. And Mir, it's the 3 M's into turn 1. Quartararo in 4th.
Like somebody was well turn 1, and now this time it looks like he's made another mistake all of his own doing, and this time he's the victim of his own error.
Down to 14th place.
Right, there's been some turn 1 drama for Marc Marquez so far here in Austria today. Miller then drops into
41. Aleix Spargaro and Quartararo apparently involved as well. On the approach to turn 1 then, Marquez has got the inside line.
It was just Marquez running out of the room, didn't it, on the inside, but again, unfortunately, it was Aleix Spargaro. There was a man that came out of it the worst.
Tet, if you like. Miller, Mir, Martin, Quartararo, Zarco, Alex Marquez and Taka Nakagami in 6th. He's dropped behind the 2 LCR Hondas. Alex Marquez and Nakagami are 6th and 7th. Brilliant for them. Bagnaia then.
Martin using that Ducati power to find a way through at the top of the hill, turn 3. Up the inside of Joan Mir. Martin 2nd. In that heavy braking zone down the hill into turn number 4.
Great job from Alex Marquez then, just trying to get his hooks in.
His problems at the first corner on the first couple of laps is down in 14th place, trying to find a way back through on his teammate Pol Espargaro.
Dropping down the hill into turn 9. Here come the leaders again. This will be the end of lap 3. On board here with Miller, looking for his gear, first corner now. This is Martin. Sorry, Matt. Martin is challenging for the lead. He goes through, and back in the background there, Zarco. Marc Marquez into turn 1. It was a lunge up the inside of Nakagami, and he was going to hit into the back. He was never going to get that stop, Marc Marquez, and his
LCR Honda was snaking around underneath him in the braking zone. Although the younger Marquez brothers having an outstanding ride here in this second
best lap of the race so far. In the background, then Alex Marquez and his teammate Nakagami are hunting down the top 5. Lucio Cecchinello will be very pleased
to know what's happened for Pekka Bagnaia. He's just nowhere, struggling big time in this restart. There he is. He's coming under pressure again. That was 1.5 seconds slower than Jorge Martin. What's happened for the Italian?
You could do with that espresso kicking in pretty quickly, couldn't it? He's up into 8th place, the number 33. He's leading KTM hopes at the moment, so whatever change maybe they make. Oh, Aleix Espargaro's name's just gone tumbling, Matt. I don't know if something's happened to the Aprilia rider.
Well, it's been an eventful afternoon so far for company. Martin will lead, he'll have that better drive on the Ducati coming out the final corner, but Mir piling the pressure on. Mir all day has just been completely wrecked now. It looks like he's taken a bit of a whack to the ribs cage there as well, Aleix Espargaro.
It is Jorge Martin that leads from Joan Mir. Then it's Miller, Quartararo, Zarco, the 2 LCR guys, Binder, Rins, Oliver 44 struggling.
I don't think Jorge Martin can stick that right leg out any harder than what he is doing. A couple of whacks on that side, hasn't it?
That's true. That is true.
He's got machine problems. Be shy about expressing his opinion about that in his media debriefs later on
board with Joan Mir. So far,
race, he was so well set to win Red Bull Ring 2 here last year. He's got a bit of a score to settle, having been
up the hill towards turn 3, and Martin and Mir, who know each other very, very.
How many times have we seen that in Austria? A Yamaha outbraking a Ducati at the end, just using that poke of the Ducati over the crest, out of 3 and then down into turn 4. And Fabio Quartararo
has to get through because the gap to the front boys now is a second.
And this is where the Yamaha will work better than the Ducati in this third sector, in this section. Otherwise, he's leaving himself wide open to an attack in the first corner.
Joan Mir getting very, very close here too.
Not really cutting each other up and carving each other up. They're able to just keep their fast rhythm. They've just again exchanged fast
detenter they needed to contend for a race win.
Fabio Quartararo again was just able to take a 10th out of Marquez, starting to be reeled in by Alex Rins, who's got himself into the high 24s as well. Nakagami, Marquez
as yet. Here are the 2 LCR riders. Nakagami then has now, I think, got past and dealt with the attacks coming from his Tisson.
6 weeks ago, Espargaro, Nakagami, Vinales and Rossi also on track limit warnings as well.
Podium, but with Jorge Martin winning. Further back, Marc Marquez has gone past Pecco Bagnaia. Bagnaia then,
particularly as he got away well offline. Talking about Martin was wide there clearly. Talking about riders with scores to settle, Joan Mir, Jorge grubbed off for himself, exceeding track limit on the last lap in a real titanic tussle with Marco Bezzecchi. So these two both looking for a bit of payback. But it never happened in Doha, did it? Like I said, I mean, it was immaculate in Doha. It was just that lack of experience late on when he was just struggling to manage room at all. He just squeezed it out Iker Lecuona into turn 4, and Lecuona also loses a spot to the little samurai Danny Petron.
And Bastianini, so often he does this, the rookie. From way back on the grid, he
was eligible to restart this race. He didn't, I guess, in too much pain after that huge incident up at turn 3, which brought
Pit Byra there. Not the day that I'm sure they were all hoping for on the approach to the Grand Prix of Styria.
No, not at all. You can strong in the first 2 sectors, and then Mir takes all that time back with the corner speed of the Suzuki in sector 3. In fact, on that last lap, Mir, he did not buckle under pressure in Doha. It was just, as we mentioned, the inexperience of time management which cost him his stint. Martin resisting.
Oh, I tell you, Martin is going to be getting a track limits warning shortly.
Yeah, there's lots and lots of riders. There's no room for error around it.
There's a mechanical for Miguel Oliveira.
That's a real shame because he was working incredibly hard to keep himself inside the top 10 yesterday. And break, so he was having to use other parts of his right arm, the triceps and the forearm, to compensate. And of course, that was
halfway through this race. 13 laps to go. And no sign of Jorge Martin.
4-4s. They're running identical pace, the pair of them. You can just see there in the background, Johan Zarco will lose crucial points to Quartararo in the championship. There's another long lap penalty, this time going the way of Bastianini. Technical problem, he didn't deserve that because he was riding above and beyond the call of duty. He's in absolute excruciating agony.
Lift him into contention next weekend. He's looking down at the bike, isn't he? He's not going immediately to that right hand, I'm sure. And very fast. Danny Pedrosa behind him at the moment. Danny Pedrosa is faster than the 4 riders ahead of him on circuit. He could be destination.
Weekend, he missed out on a place in Q2 yesterday because he was exceeding the track limit.
Simon Nat.
And there's a piece missing out of the front tyre.
Oh wow. Striking. Wow.
That's a medium for Quartararo, hard front, medium rear for Miller, medium front, soft rear for Johan Zarco.
He's doing a good job. He's without a top 6 since Jerez, that 4th place. So good to see him back towards the
shining on the pressure on Fabio Quartararo.
Yeah, and he knows he's got time. We can forget about Martin and Mir. This is all just about I've never seen so many riders in a MotoGP race get track limit warnings.
Fabio Quartararo said yesterday on board here, you can just see in that little mirror, if you like, where Jack Miller is. That'll be a
to the Ducati in Austria. Not an easy task.
downhill into turn.
It's long-standing turning issues. The Ducati just does not work as well as Fabio Quartararo's Yamaha. But what they lose here, of course,
really showed you just how much Yamaha have improved, and Miller's gone down chasing the podium. That may well be into turn 7, just carrying maybe a bit too much corner speed, and that's 2 crashes in the last 2 races for Miller.
On a Ducati.
And White, look, he's almost a second clear now. Martin is carrying the hopes of Ducati on his shoulders. There's no factor rider he is in general, Jorge Martin. He's always had a touch of class, the 23-year-old, and Paolo Campinotti now. He's been very
success in MotoGP, but never with an independent team rider. It's not done yet. There's still 7 laps to go here in Spiel.
Smart as they come, the world champion. Is he saving himself? Is he on the absolute limit as he keeps a beat? Here's a replay of these guys trying to stop their mean machines, breaking from 300.
I don't think Francesco Guidotti had that much grey hair at 2 p.m. early on this afternoon. He had a few more fingernails as Martin.
And yet again, despite not looking like he had the speed all weekend, Zarco.
Yeah, so he'll only be losing 3 points at the moment to Fabio Quartararo, so the gap will go up to 37.
7th is certainly not bad from where he was on the grid.
Again, it's the exact... Oh, Mir's made a mistake there at turn 3. That's because Mir is just throwing everything at Jorge Martin. He just cannot get him to crack. And it's Mir that makes the first mistake in the...
Mir wave the white flag and say, 2nd will do today.
I was just about to say as well, Mir must just be looking at, because of course he's still not really back to 100% fitness, is he, Jorge Martin? Well, there's no fatigue, obviously. Look like coming at all.
It's Pramac Ducati versus Suzuki. We're going to look at that moment for Joan Mir then on the approach to...
And that's just given a little bit of a cushion to Jorge Martin.
Ducati versus Suzuki.
It's not just the speed, it's the consistency as well to match. This has been...
Only the true greats in MotoGP win this early on in their MotoGP career and earlier on this year, and you could have forgiven him for coming back and it taking some time to really bed in.
Simon, you've got some observations from pit lane on how many times he's been in that 124.4, 124.5 bracket. And again, Mir not a lot slower.
Well, to salvage a top 6. Binder then, that's a decent result actually. It wasn't looking like he was on course to make history, and it looks like it's just too much for Mir now. 1.8 seconds. I think Mir has...
He signed Joan Mir after just 1 season in Moto2. He nurtured him into a MotoGP world champion, but even the world champion, and 1 corner left for the 23-year-old Spaniard, and standing on the brink of a famous World Championship as one of the top independent teams, and their day in the sunshine is about to come potentially here.
Mir, the world champion. Of course, we're seeing Pedrosa retiring, Lorenzo retiring, Rossi announcing it. It is a change. Such a huge talent, and we've known it ever since he entered the Grand Prix paddock, but this is something special.
Mir just hasn't... He's done his absolute best, but he just cannot. The mistake hasn't come, and now Joan Mir is thinking, yeah, there's no sense in throwing away 20 precious World Championship points.
Mark and Alex Marquez, and just behind, look who it is. He's catching them. Danny Pedrosa. Take a bow. Nearly 3 years.
This will hurt Pecco Bagnaia immensely, because he was hoping that this Ducati favoured circuit, Martin on the same bike, about to take victory in just his 6th Grand Prix. It all went wrong right from the start of this restart.
Your views on Pecco Bagnaia?
Guys, in my opinion, there has to be some sort of technical problem. Pecco...
Until the red flag came out, there's got to be a reason, and I'm sure we'll find out at the end of this race, but he's going to be bitterly disappointed because this is going to cut
for 4th place. Zarco should have that one under control,
well,
but
they've got Binder for company as well.
The Ducati management, Paolo Campinotti, they can barely watch. 1 lap to go for the Martinator.
Turn 3, that's the battle for 4th place.
Crucial World Championship points here for Zarco to try and defend. He's going to have his work. MotoGP victory, just turn 10 left him to negotiate, and it's another Ducati win here in Austria.
Mir, Pramac Ducati have their win in MotoGP in the hands of a rookie. Yeah. And a win that will feel like
13th place. That's one of several glowing tributes. Now, what's happened here? Looks like there's been a
wasteful